Hey everybody, welcome to Surviving Ordinary Life. I'm Justin.
And I'm Liza.
And today we're going to talk about awkward situations.
I hated the way I just said that. That was
I'm Liza.
Hi.
Intro.
So Justin, what are we going to talk about today?
I already said that. Awkward situations.
Oh, did
that
we?
was, yep, no, 100%.
This is
that
what
was
happens.
kind of awkward.
This is actually already an awkward situation, but not really because I tune Justin out quite frequently.
All the
so
time. All the time.
That's not awkward. It's just common.
It's mutual, though.
It's absolutely.
It's mutual.
What am I saying now? Let's talk about some awkward moments, things that we know that you've dealt with, we've dealt with. So how do you deal with them when you deal with them? Does that make sense? Did that come out clear enough?
Yes.
Yes. This is all about awkward, guys. We're gonna make it as awkward as possible. So here's an awkward situation. I'd love to see how you handle it. I think this is probably one of the most common awkward situations, but it's when you are and someone else are on different terms about how you're going to approach your welcome, whether it's going to be a shake or a hug. And what happens is you think it's one thing and that other person thinks it's another thing, and then you have this really awkward meet in the middle. What do you do? Go.
I'm a hugger.
So you just go through. So if somebody stuck their hand out to shake your hand and you thought it was gonna be a hug, you continue with that hug, even though they clearly were like, I want to shake. You'd go through with that hug?
That's a tough one. See, that doesn't usually happen to me.
It happens to everybody.
I
so
know,
right now
but it
you're
doesn't-
lying.
No, it doesn't usually happen to me because most people, like, I was just like, and then I get a hug.
So
Most of my interactions with new people are drunk, so it doesn't.
Because that was like that sounded like there was some inebriation going on.
No, I mean, like in the corporate world, you shake hands. Obviously, if you know somebody for a while, a hug can be appropriate. But 9 times out of 10, I'm hugging somebody outside.
It's funny that you bring up location, because I do think location is pivotal, like when deciding how to approach it. Like if you're at work, you should automatically always assume a shake. Like a hug should never be factored in unless you personally know that person. And then if you see that they want to hug and you're cool with hugging, like, oh, I'm totally cool with hugging. That's what I would do. So like I go in for a shake.
I'm a hugger. Come here.
Yeah. I go in for a shake just to respect, because if you don't want the hug, I want to make sure that you have, you're not going to feel pressure.
You present the handshake every time?
No, it depends on the situation, but at work, yes.
Okay.
So so I always start with the shake, but I'm a hugger. I love to hug. So if somebody comes like halfway, I'm like, oh, let's hug. Yeah, I love hugging. But I would never just start that way. But what's funny is Tom actually had some advice on how to approach this. And so we'll play it for you guys now.
If you ever end up in this pit of confusion as to whether to hug or shake hands, just challenge someone to my new game, Hug, Shake, Walk.
Hug, shake, walk, shoot.
In Hug, Shake, Walk, you play your opponent for the next move. In order to play, hug beats shake, shake beats walk, and walk beats hug.
That is a stupid, stupid game. When you initially pitched it to me, I was like, okay, so it's like a little guy, like that's fine.
Yeah.
We filmed it like 4 times, and then you were just like, no, move the fingers down your hands.
I had to help Tom with his creative process, and I thought walk made sense. You're walking like a little moonwalk, and it was so difficult for everyone to get for some reason. And I was like, okay, why am
Because
I?
the moonwalk is backwards.
That's what I said. Like, how do you know that wasn't backwards? Why are you insinuating that that's forwards?
Everyone knows the front of the walk is this side, because this makes a little butt.
That wasn't just the best thing I've ever heard in the entire life of SOL. We made a butt, folks. There's your butt. Oh my god. So speaking of butt, here's another very awkward situation. I'd be curious to see how you've handled it or if it's ever happened to you, but I feel like, again, it's happened to everyone.
I have no idea where this is going.
Okay.
I only read half the notes.
So this is what we call a snart. So it's S-N-A-R-T, snart. It is the act of sneezing and accidentally farting in the process. And boy, does that make for an awkward situation.
I have farted a lot in my life, and
In
most
public.
of my friends can attest to this. But I have never snorted.
But so when you say you fart a lot in front of your friends, it's because you guys have like that bromance
Oh,
thing,
100%,
where it's like, oh,
yeah,
I'm a
no.
fart, but I don't really care what you think about me,
Yeah,
kind
no,
of
no,
thing.
that's-
But you wouldn't do that in like a meeting room. You'd be like, oh, sorry guys.
No, but I have never snorted. I'm just saying, like,
You've never sneezed and accidentally farted.
never.
Wow, I never thought I'd meet someone who hasn't said that that's happened. I just think it's such a common, not common, I wouldn't say it happens all the time, but it does happen.
It's
I
so
have to imagine it's happened at least once in somebody's life. So what happens is the pressure of the sneeze.
You're gonna go into the science?
Yes, because I'm trying to explain how this can happen to some people, for those who haven't had it happen.
Alright, so this is yourself.
So you know you're going in for the sneeze and you're a lot of pressure is coming out of your mouth. So if you have like a built up fart, or maybe you don't realize it's there, and that pressure that comes out of your mouth then like ricochets like a gun, like it ricochets out the back end, and then you get that pressure that just comes out and lets rip a fart. Like that's how snarting happens, and it's not fun because usually it's always going to be in the most quietest times. It knows when to happen. It's when everybody can hear it. So it's definitely happened to me before. Like it's not frequent, like it's not all the time, but it's happened. I'm not going to pretend like it hasn't. So here's what I do, and I don't know if anybody, this is really personal right now, guys. We're about to get real personal. So what I do, if I'm at a meeting and I'm about to sneeze, just in case there's a lurking fart, I clench my butt cheeks like really tight, just to make sure that if I sneeze and something is gonna try to come out, that I suppress it. But here, so just to let you guys know, you have to be very cautious about this, right? Because there's a difference between a clenched butt cheek fart and like a loose fart, right? Because a looser fart sounds like this.
So
right?
in other words, there's
Like there's a difference between, ready? This is the loose one. This is the, right? That's like the one that you can maybe blame on the table. You can maybe blame it on the chair. But the clenched butt cheek fart is like a, like, I mean, it's like, you can't blame that on anything. That was a fart. That was a fart. So, like, really know that you're pretty confident that something may not come out if you hold it tight enough. But it's a risk, but
High risk,
99%.
high risk, high reward.
High risk, high reward. I like that.
Well, I've learned far too much about Liza today already. But there's more. Awkward transition, awkward wave, and that's what we're talking about. Awkward waving. We're gonna be
Awkward waving, like what do you mean? Like
so when somebody's waving and you wave back at them and you don't know who they are, and somebody behind you is actually the person they're waving at.
oh yeah. Okay, I know what you're saying. So
You just see somebody wave, you're like, hey!
Oh,
you could be
that's-
like, oh, maybe I knew him from high school or something, I don't know. Or, you know,
Yeah.
and turns out they had no idea who you are either. You're just some random dude waving back at them.
That's always. I always wonder what goes through the other person's head, like when they're just like.
You've never had that happen to you?
Like I'm the one who's waving and
Yeah.
somebody accidentally waves at me.
Yeah.
No, I
Oh,
haven't.
I had
I'm
it
always
happen
the awkward
once.
waver backer. Like I'm always
no.
like, hey.
I've had it happen once.
Well, you did it?
Yeah,
What do
when
you do?
I
Do you
was
make them
waving.
feel comfortable by like making jokes about it or something? Like, oh, haha, sorry.
No, I think they just walked away.
Oh, okay.
I don't think anything came of it. It wasn't like a confrontation, I guess would be the only.
So you don't try to like soothe their ego a little bit, make them feel better, be like, oh no, I'm sorry. Oh, I meant the person behind you, but oh, funny. No? Am I just crazy? Am I
You are
weird that I just like that?
entirely crazy.
Like I feel like I'd be feeling bad for their emotions because they're like butt hurt right now that I wasn't waving at them.
But they don't know you. Well, my brother and his friends used to play a game where they would drive down the road, and if they saw somebody on the side of the road, they would honk their horn and go like this, and then turn the other direction and wave.
Ah, that's mean.
Never anyone they knew. They just did it to people. So there would be a whole car full of people going like this, the other direction from the person who just looked up, and so everyone looking at them going like this, and then they would turn.
Have you ever done the awkward, like, I feel like some people have told me that they do like the stretchy thing. Like they'll be like,
I just did that by accident.
They'll do that. Have you ever done that?
I've never done that.
No?
No.
How about like
I
swatting a
have
fly?
made jokes about it before, but like I've never.
Like, so you wouldn't just be like,
No.
no? How about like the swat the fly?
I
Like,
no, I'm kidding. I don't
do you
know.
do swat and fly?
Like,
Like, you're like,
no.
no?
I don't handle those situations like that.
You literally just are just like, okay, see you later.
Maybe
I respect that.
I'll crack a joke or something if like the person's like, no, I meant the other person. Like, oh, that's okay. I meant the person behind you, and then they might turn around and there's nobody there.
So you do crack jokes
If
sometimes.
they initiate something
I'm not
like a conversation, I will partake in the conversation.
But if they don't, and do
Then
you
it's
judge
just-
them? But do you judge them? So if it was me, because I would do that, and I'd make the conversation, would you judge me and be like, oh, this girl has like a small ego, she needs to fill, like,
No.
or would you just be like, oh yeah, huh, and just join it? Okay, because see, yeah, that's good.
It's right here.
Awkward moment. So you're talking with one of your friends maybe, or you just thought of a text that you want to send about a specific person. Now this is not just any text. This is a like, I hate this person, or you want to like vent about them or do something, or you took a screenshot of something they sent you. And because that person's name is fresh in your head, for some reason you like pull up their name and you text it to them. So that's awkward, because how do you recover from that? Have you ever? Oh my God, yes.
I've sent bad text messages. Like, I'll send it to like the wrong person all the time, but I don't think I've ever really badmouthed anyone
Really?
to someone else, to back to them by accident.
And to be clear, I don't really badmouth people, so it's not like that negative, but it's kind of like you're just kind of venting about the situation or something. But if it were to...
I'm sure I've done that.
See,
I'm sure I've done that.
I honestly will just like, it depends on what I said, but at that point you just have to kind of fess up. I don't think you really have an option, because clearly you said it. So it's like, what else are you gonna, how are you gonna recover from that? I don't think there's any way to bounce back from that. Would you think that there's a way you could bounce back from it?
New phone, who dis?
Yeah. New phone, who dis? I literally
They text
changed
you
my
back and
number
be like,
in
oh,
30
really?
seconds.
New phone, who dis?
New phone, who dis?
So speaking of sending things to other people, what do you do if you like someone's post online that you didn't mean to like?
Like just anybody? Like, or just, I mean, I guess it depends on the person. Like if it's a friend of mine and I like their post, I don't think I'd care, because it's like whatever. But are you talking about like maybe...
So maybe it's like a new friend, or like somebody you just met, or
like
something
you were browsing
and
their
you're just
social
kinda
media.
browsing, and you go back like 3 years and you're like, you accidentally hit like on something from like 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's rough. Oh my God. The problem with social media is that even if you try to because you can retract your like on social medias, but that notification sometimes is already out there.
Yeah.
So at that point you've committed. I don't think you can back out of that. Once that person knows that you did it, like you're just gonna look weird taking it back. What do you think? Have you done that before?
I have done that. Oh, yeah.
Is it somebody that you're stalking, or like
I don't
somebody
stalk
that you?
too many people? So
So what do you do? So you like their post? Do you try to take it back? So do you try to unlike it real fast and hope to God? It doesn't make sense, because I think the minute you like it, they get a notification. Now the notification never goes away. You may unlike it, but that notification doesn't go away.
When they, I don't know. At that point, you're just kind of in it. Let them think you're creeping.
Let them know that you're creeping. So do you try to explain
You start
yourself?
liking other stuff. You're like, oh, I like this one too. I like this one too.
Oh my God.
Explain myself. No, if they're not going to bring it up, I'm never going to talk about it again.
So you don't try to like, oh my gosh, I feel like it depends on your level of crazy.
Do you reach out to the person?
No.
Oh, I thought this was going to get weird.
Well, it depends.
Oh my God, sorry.
Oh my
I was
God.
just looking at an old post and accidentally liked it.
I think you have to. I think in some situations you might have to. So it depends on who you're doing it. If it's just an old friend of yours, not a big deal. But if it's somebody that you're not even following, and you're creeping, or Instagram creeping, and you like their post, at this point they're gonna be like, what are you doing back in my 2014 posts? Like, I haven't talked to you in so long. They know you're creeping. You might as well have been like, hey, I came across your profile and my people you may know. I just saw your picture. I just wanted to say, hey, all right, bye. Like, I feel like you have to say something, because at that point, you don't think so?
You're breaking rule 3 of stalking someone.
Rule 3 is don't reach out to the person.
Don't go back more than 2 years.
When did these rules get established?
I don't know, make it.
Yeah, you were making stuff up. I didn't realize it was a guidebook to stalking on social media.
Oh my God, there's 100% a guidebook out
There's
there
gotta
somewhere.
be. Oh my gosh,
There
let's
has
see
to be.
if we can find it. I think this is gonna be a whole separate video, this whole stalking thing. on social media, because that is probably one of the most awkward things I think I've faced.
At the end of all these episodes, we're going to be asking Tom for a little bit of input on what we've been talking about.
This is a good one to ask him, I think.
You want to ask him this one?
Yeah, let's ask him what he would do if he accidentally liked somebody's post on social media. I think that's because Tom's advice. I mean, he's given us some pretty bad advice this last year. Some of it's not bad, so maybe this one he'll have something solid to give us.
I like birthdays. That was a good advice in there. Burn your computer, tablet, phone, and get a new identity. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you put any comments on awkward moments you've had in below.
Yeah, below.
Awkward.
I don't know why that was a tough word for you to get out.
I don't know. There's always that like button. There's a dislike button, I guess, too. I've never used it. We'll get to that in another topic, I guess. And there's some videos over there you guys can watch. I'm sure this has probably been about 20 seconds, right?